afternoon and welcome back here to Emerson, Georgia, to Lake Point Sports. It's the Kingsmen Baseball Network and it's the ABA Championships. Prospect Baseball on the air for you this afternoon between the Kingsmen and Central Pointe, the 2 seed against the 7 here in the winner's bracket Prospect Ball as we enter round number 2. Action started this morning. Central Pointe picked up a big-time win, scoring double digits on their way to a win over Wellington Sports Academy. That earns them the right to face the 2nd-seeded Kingsmen, who will be throwing Noah Entrican, the left-hander, on the mound, trying to get them into Wednesday without a loss. Kingsmen in the outfield today. Caden McNeil, Ryan Waters, Hudson Entrican in the green outfield turf. Israel Classe, Montgomery Hart, Owen Beatrice, and Anthony Seminara are in the infield. Mason Ritzma, the other half of the battery, with the Gardner Webb left-hander throwing as he gets ready to warm up. Ahmed Nasser, Sebastian Roland, and Vinicio Lara, the first 3 hitters for the White Tigers of Central Pointe. New opponent for the Kingsmen. They have not faced off all season.
I want to know the game changer. Is right there.
We are just about ready to get underway. Noah Entrican on the mound, left-hander on the mound, left-hander at the plate. And the first pitch is a fastball in there to Ahmed Nasser. Nasser, the center fielder for Central Pointe, looking for a win over the Kingsmen to advance to round 3 of this winner's bracket. There's another fastball in there from Entrican to make it 0-2. Opening hitter of this game is Ahmed Nasser, then Sebastian Roland and Vinicio Lara. Jean Verdejo in the cleanup spot if Central Pointe gets a base runner. It is quickly 0-2. Entrican's pitch back to the fastball, and it is lasered foul to the third base side. The Kingsmen are the home team in today's game by way of their higher seed. The home team will be the higher seed, or rather the home team will be the higher seed in every single game until we get to the championships. So the Kingsmen hoping to take advantage and get some early outs. There's a breaking ball, low and away for ball number 1. Nasser, Roland, and Lara. Entrican making yet another start for the Kingsmen. He has been second in terms of innings pitched most of this season. There's a curveball, tap foul. Central Pointe is going to make him work for every out today. They hit the ball so well. Won their first game of the day by a score of 11-6 over the Gators of Wellington Sports Academy. Entrican, another 1-2. The left-hander fires just outside, maybe a tad high as well, and it is 2-2. 5 games remaining on the schedule throughout this Lake Point complex today between the 3 divisions. It has been an action-packed day 1 of games. 2-2. Just outside, and Nasser has worked the count full. A battle of 2 high-octane offenses. 2 starting pitchers that have got plenty of stuff, and we'll see how it all shakes out. Entrican trying to win the battle with the leadoff man. 3-2. Tapped down the first base side, and it is through and into the outfield. A leadoff base hit off of the full count for Ahmed Nasser. Put it between Beatrice and Seminara on the right side of the infield. And their leadoff man works a base hit to start it off. Entrican got out in front 0-2. Nasser worked it all the way back to full and then won it with a 1-hopper through the right side of the infield. If you missed the morning game, the Kingsmen varsity team defeated P27 by a score of 7-2. And they advance to take on Clubhouse Commanders tomorrow at Ball High 1-0. Clubhouse Commanders beat A3 8-3 in the 12-15 window. So the Kingsmen in the 6th seed will take on the top seed tomorrow afternoon, 1-0. And that is high and away. Entrechen's going to have to keep the ball over the plate today. And yet simultaneously deal with some big power bats that the White Tigers of Central Pointe hold. Rollon started the game on the mound this morning. He's batting second, playing first here in Game 2. He takes the 2-0 inside, and he is way ahead here against Entrechen. A lot of noise in the ballpark. And the Dominion Sports Collective Wolves among the Ions. They'll be taking on the winner. That's a game the Kingsmen would love to see. If they can get a rematch against the Virginia Wolves. That's a 4-pitch walk. Quickly, Owen Beatrice out to talk to his left-handed starter. It's a battle of Division I commits on the mound today. The Kingsmen starting their Gardner Webb left-hander, Entrechen. For Central Pointe, it's going to be the UCF commit, Pablo Figueroa. The Kingsmen knew they were going to get one of Central Pointe's top 2 starters. They pitched Rollon, the Oregon commit, in Game 1 in order to get business taken care of against Wellington. They're starting Figueroa here against the KBA. The White Tigers have an early chance to take advantage and get on the board. It's Vinicio Lara, the designated hitter. That's ball 1. Time called. Joe Hudak's on his way to the mound. Two pitches into this game, it looked like this half inning was going to shape up differently. 2 fastballs that found the zone, and Nasser worked himself a full count, got a base hit out of it. Entrechen unable to find the zone against Rollon, and now Lara ahead in the count here early. That was a quick meeting from Coach Joe Hudak to try to calm down the left-hander out of Arcadia, Oklahoma. The designated hitter steps back in. Here's the 1-0. Inside corner strike. Good location on the fastball to get things back on track for Entrechen. Noah's younger brother, Hudson Entrechen, out in right field. He's joined in the outfield by Ryan Waters in center and Caden McNeil in left. They go over to first, and they've got him picked off. It'll be a rundown. Seminara throws to third, and the tag is there. Out number 1 comes at third base. How about the creativity of the Kingsmen to catch Sebastian Rollon completely napping at first base? He takes second, but it's the lead runner who's gunned down on the throw from Seminara over to Classe. Classe had a little bit of work to do to scoop it and apply the tag, but he did so successfully. And there is 1 out here in the inning. So the Kingsmen steal an out. Now they're looking to get their first out at the plate. One. There's a high fly ball to left. McNeil racing back toward the warning track, and it is gone. Lara got just enough of it, and he leaves the ballpark to make it 2-0. That is just the second home run Entrechen has given up all season. Central Pointe capable of a lot offensively, and we see it early. There's a huge swing from Verdejo, and he comes up empty. It's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Entrechen back out of the windup with the bases empty. 2-0 early lead. And that breaking ball is tapped to short. Montgomery Hart across the diamond on on target and on time for out number 2. So the Kingsmen get right back on track. A couple of strikes from Entrekin, and they're going to try to shake it off quickly. The White Tigers of Central Pointe hit a 2-run home run from their 3-hole hitting designated hitter. The Kingsmen are behind early. Entrekin misses high with the curveball. Nice thing about being behind early is you got a lot of time to turn it around. The Kingsmen will bring McNeil, Waters, and Beatrice to the plate in the bottom of the first, chasing what is right now a 2-run deficit. Outside corner strike, framed into the zone nicely by Ritzma, the Canadian. One, and that is high for ball 2. 5th hitter of the inning for Central Pointe. And that last fastball was pitch number 20 here in the first for Entrekin. 2-1. Swing and a miss on the outside corner. Blew the fastball by him at 89. A leadoff base hit and a home run has made it 2-0. But Entrekin trying to get out of the first. 2-2. Outside ball number 3. An important thing to note in this first inning, that pickoff play to get the first out of the inning was 1 pitch before the home run. So good timing for that first out. 3-2, and that is in the dirt. It is a walk. Castillo walks himself aboard with 2 down, and the inning continues. Here comes Elijah De Jesus, the left fielder wearing the number 95. Will be a right-handed hitter against Entrekin here with 2 down. Very short lead for Castillo at first. High for ball 1. Entrekin just has not been able to keep the ball in the zone early in these at-bats. 2 walks in the inning and 2 hits. Just off the corner, 2-0. Pitch. There's a pop-up, first base side foul. Seminara gave chase, but it's out of play, 2-1. Once again, it's McNeil, Waters, and Beatrice when the Kingsmen come to the plate in the home half of the first. The 2-seeded Kingsmen trying to hold their own with one of the top offensive teams in this prospect division. There's a throw over to first. Back standing up goes Castillo. Both of these teams capable of the long ball. Central Pointe in the top 2 in the league. There's a fastball on the inside corner. Top 2 in the league in home runs this season. The Kingsmen were tied for 3rd. They have a big bat re-entering the order today for the first time in a long time. We'll talk about that in the bottom of the first. 2-2. Curveball, got him. First strikeout for Noah Entrekin, and the inning is over. 2 runs off of the Vinicio Lara 2-run home run, and the Kingsmen will come to the plate trying to grab something of their own when we come back. It's the ABA Championships right here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here in the bottom of the first inning, Kingsmen baseball on the air. I'm Griffin Leonard here with you for the ABA Championships here in Emerson, Georgia, Lake Point Sports. We're here at field number 11, and Caden McNeil is set to lead things off for the Kingsmen against Central Pointe. Pablo Figueroa, the UCF Knight in 2026-27, is on the mound for Central Pointe out of Puerto Rico. Central Pointe with an early 2-0 lead, and the Kingsmen will try to take it right back. Here's the first pitch out of the windup. McNeil takes the outside pitch. It was a fastball at 93, and it was just outside. Time's going to be called. I'm sure you heard it. There was a loud bang, and it was because the ball hit the overhang above us coming from another field. A home plate umpire says that's one of ours now. 1 ball, no strikes. Figueroa back into the windup with the flashy cleats, comes home with the 1-0 and misses in the same spot once again at 93 miles an hour. Some pretty good velocity for the Kingsmen hitters to have to deal with today. They've faced it already this season. See what they can do. 2-0. McNeil takes that one that got the outside half of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's McNeil, Waters, and Beatrice, and then Jack Curtis, the designated hitter, in the cleanup spot. 2 balls and a strike. McNeil squares, bunts it, but it's back toward the pitcher. Figueroa goes to first, and it is in time. McNeil tried to drag and get himself aboard. We've seen him successfully do it a few times this season, but it was too close to the hill, and it's a quick first out for the Central Pointe defense. Full order: McNeil, Waters, Beatrice, Curtis, Hart, Place, Hudson Entrican, Mason Ritzma, Anthony Seminara in the 9. The Kingsmen not batting an extra hitter here in this ballgame. Ryan Waters, the lefty center fielder. His first pitch, he hits it down the left field line, hooking toward the corner, but it lands in the Kingsmen bullpen, 0-1. And that gets the knees. So Waters didn't like it. He's behind 0-2 as Owen Beatrice prepares himself on deck. Figueroa has stuck to the fastball, and why wouldn't you? See if he dials up anything else here. It is 0-2. That is just off the plate. Maybe a makeup call from the pitch prior. That looked pretty good on the outside corner. And Alejandro Medina trying to keep things in front behind the plate for Central Pointe. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Waters swinging the bat on his left shoulder. Figueroa's 1-2. Swung on and missed. That is strikeout number 1 for Pablo Figueroa, and 2 quick outs for the Kingsmen here in the bottom of the first. Defensively for Central Pointe Christian Academy, it's DeJesus, Nasser, and Castillo in the outfield. Navarro, Bahamande, Argueta, and Rolón in the infield, with Medina doing the catching for Pablo Figueroa. Here comes the man who was named the Prospect Conference Hitter of the Year in last night's award ceremony, Owen Beatrice, taking his first at-bat here in Lake Point. And he takes ball 1 high. The St. John's commit has had a good season, second in batting average among qualified hitters for the Kingsmen, just behind their leadoff hitter, Caden McNeil. One and 0. Swing and a miss. Outside half with the fastball, and Beatrice went after it, but came up empty. Top of the second, we'll see Duen Navarro, Alejandro Medina, and Luis Bahamande, 7, 8, and 9 for Central Pointe. One. Low and away. Jack Curtis is on deck, his first appearance for the Kingsmen in over a month and a half. Excited to have Their cleanup man back in the lineup after missing some time with injury. 2-1. Foul tip, strike 2. Beatrice was behind on it, and it is 2-2. That one climbed up to 93.6 on the big board out in left center field. Pablo Figueroa so far has made quick work of the Kingsmen in the first. Beatrice looking to get something started with 2 strikes and 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed at the high fastball. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Kingsmen unable to answer. We'll go to the second. Be back as Entrican takes to the mound once more. Top of the second inning here in Emerson, Georgia. Griffin Leonard here with you for Central Pointe and Kingsmen. Round 2 of the winner's bracket here at Lake Point. Entrican back on the mound. He delivers a first pitch strike on the inside corner to Dwayne Navarro, the Central Pointe third baseman, batting in the 7 spot. It's 7, 8, and 9 for Central Pointe here against the Kingsmen in the second. 0-1. Ground ball hit sharply, and it's off the glove of Hart, who then stumbles, and he will not have a play. It was in and out of the glove. He was able to recover it fairly quickly, and I thought he still might have a chance to throw, but lost his footing in the deep part of the middle infield. And that is a gift for Central Pointe as the base runner goes on. Officially scored an error to put the runner on first with nobody out. Alejandro Medina, the catcher, up with the man on first base, and now he skies one foul behind home plate. It is crucial for Entrican to make quick work of this second inning. After the first 3 hitters in the first reached base, the third hit a home run. One of those first 2 was out on the base path, so just 2 runs on the home run. But an early lead nonetheless for the White Tigers. So that curveball's in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. And the Kingsmen will need to keep the Central Pointe production low. Runner on first. 1-1, hit high in the air toward the right field corner, and it is foul out of play for strike number 2. Entrican trying to keep these Central Pointe hitters out of their comfort zone. He can change speeds. He'll be able to do that without too much of an issue. The biggest challenge is commanding both pitches. 1-2. That is in the dirt, and it is blocked to the left for Ritzema. That's 90 feet for Navarro. Navarro reached on an error. Now he advances into scoring position on a wild pitch, and the double play opportunity is gone for the Kingsmen. Coming up on half an hour played here in this one. Thanks for joining us on the Kingsmen Baseball Network, wherever you may be. We're here live today from Emerson, Georgia, just northwest of the city of Atlanta. 2-2. High for ball 3. Already 35 pitches for Entrekin through an inning plus. Needs to find a way to get comfortable here in the second, facing the bottom of the order. This is a big pitch with nobody out and the count full. Payoff from Noah. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 2. A well-located fastball just high of the zone. Medina went after it, and he is out for the first out of the inning. Here comes Bahamonde. Elsewhere in the prospect division, just to our left, TNXL and A3 doing battle in the 3 versus 6 game. There's a line drive into right on the first pitch. Entrekin has it. Runner being held at third, and it's corners with 1 out. That's a good job from Entrekin to get it in quickly and prevent the run from coming in to score. First pitch base hit for Bahamonde, and Argueta is going to come up with the runners on the corners and 1 out. A3 with an early lead in that one, 5-0. An impressive start for the 6th-seeded Trojans. Argueta, the second baseman, up with runners on the corners and a chance for Central Pointe to add to its lead. He squares the bunt and fouls it off into Mason Ritzema, who takes the mask off but appears to be okay. No balls and 1 strike. Entrekin steps off and takes a moment. Oh, 1. Fly ball shallow right. Entrekin running toward it. Runner is going to tag from third. Throw comes in. It is not cut. And it is not in time to get Navarro. Entrekin didn't get behind the baseball. The throw had some good mustard on it, but not enough to get the runner trying to score from third. It's a sacrifice fly for the 3rd run of the game for Central Pointe, and it brings the top of the order back around here in the 2nd inning. An unearned run against Entrekin. Ahmed Nasser was behind 0-2, worked a full count, and ripped a single through the right side his first time. He's ahead 1-0 here. And that is just outside ball 2. Some varsity scores for you. Clubhouse Commanders, victors over A3, 8-3. Kingsmen will take on the Commanders at 12:15 tomorrow. That's a breaking ball just outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Live right now, Georgia Premier up 1-0 on Florida Travel Ball Bulls. And Central Pointe and TNXL are scoreless in varsity division. 3-0, and that is outside, a 4-pitch walk, and Entrekin looks frustrated. Ritzema going to walk him back to the hill. as they try to figure out how they're going to solve Sebastian Roland. Prospect scores for you so far today. Central Pointe over Wellington, that's why they're here. ECA over PDG. But ECA then fell against Georgia Premier 11-0. Dominion Sports Collective over P27 3-0. And then the two games that are going on right now. Winner of this game plays the Wolves of DSC tomorrow at 12:15. First pitch from Entrican. That's inside. That is now 5 pitches that he has thrown to Sebastian Roland. 5 of them out of the 5 have not been in the strike zone. It was a 4-pitch walk the last time that the two faced off. Laura's on deck. You know you want to get the inning over right now. That's at the knees. Laura hit the home run his first time to the plate. He can wrap up the inning right here, then he leads off and can do no more than score himself if he were to keep up the hot streak and find himself away aboard. 1-1 from Entrican. Breaking ball, tap foul, was off the foot of Sebastian Roland. Wearing the number 23 for Central Pointe. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners on first and second. Nasser on first. Bahamande on second base. 1-2 from Noah. Just inside, 2-2. Curtis Hart Classe, 4-5-6 to lead off inning number 2 for the Kingsmen. As of now, down 3 runs, trying to keep it at a 3-0 scoreline. 2-2 as the lefty winds and fires. The pitch is fouled off to the Kingsmen dugout. 2 strikeouts already for Noah, but 3 walks have made things difficult to go along with 3 hits, including the big fly. Two pitches away from number 50 here in the second inning. 2-2. High for ball 3. Kingsmen will likely need some help at some point here in the ball game. And we will wonder who they turn to in relief. Plenty of pitching options here for the prospect team. But this at least should be considered a must-win. 3-2. Runners on the move, and that is low and in, and the bases are loaded for Laura. Fourth walk for Entrican. Vinicio Lara hit a fly ball out to left field and left the yard for the first 2 runs for Central Pointe. He bats here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch from Noah. Fastball inside half of the zone, 0-1. Kingsman set to bring 4-5-6 to the plate in the bottom of the second. Some big bats capable of carving a dent into this deficit, but you've got to keep it manageable. Figueroa looking really good out of the gate on the mound for the visiting White Tigers. Entrican takes an extra second. And the 2 umpires are going to come together here. There has been a balk call. That brings in another run. Bahamande comes in from third. The 2 umpires getting together, and I could hear the base umpire from up here. Did the pitcher call time, or did the batter? And Entrican stepping off. I believe he stepped off with the wrong foot. He's going to work out of the stretch just to be sure now. 0-1 with 2 outs. That's high for ball 1. 2 unearned runs for the Kingsmen in this inning. They would have been out of the inning a long time ago, but the inning started with the error from Montgomery Hart, a bobble, and then a slip on the turf. That has now cost the Kingsmen 2 runs in retrospect. 1-1 at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I was right the first time. 1 ball and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the second inning. It was 1-1. He hit the knees with the fastball. Now 1-2. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Curveball, and it gets away from Ritzema. Rolls to the on-deck circle, and here comes one more. Uncharacteristic of the Ontario native catcher. That's the second one that we've seen get away from him here in this inning, and this one costs them a run. Turning into a long inning here in Lake Point. It is 5-0 in favor of the 7th-seeded Central Pointe White Tigers. 2-2. There's a pop-up. Shallow right field. Entrican a long run toward the line, and Hudson Entrican has the catch to retire the side. 3 more for Central Pointe. Kingsmen need to come up with a response when we come back here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here for the bottom of the second inning here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network, and a big welcome back for Jack Curtis, the main commit. Swinging once again for the Kingsmen, has not played a game for the prospect team since March 10th. Over 2 months now since his last at-bats against Ray's Collegiate back at Caramont Health Park in March. When he went down with the injury, he was hitting .500. And it is a welcome sight to have him back here today. It's Curtis Hart and Classe. First pitch from Figueroa here in the second. He goes to the breaking ball and starts Curtis with it on the outside corner and a nod of the head. Pablo liked that one. It is 0-1. And that is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the second inning there, in the top of the second, that saw Central Pointe score 3 runs. They did it off of just 1 hit. It was 2 walks, an error, and a sacrifice fly, in addition to the single from Bahamande. The single did not score anyone. 1-1 for Curtis. And that is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Figueroa confirming the count. Now he comes set, a deep breath as he bears down on Curtis with the 2-1 pitch. Fastball outside corner. It is 2-2. Curtis has a home run on the season, a triple, 15 RBIs. He's played 15 games for the Kingsmen all year. 2-2. And it's a foul tip into the glove. Went back to the breaking ball and got Curtis to chase. Didn't quite get enough of it to stay alive. And it is 3 strikeouts in a row for Figueroa. 1 down here in the second. The shortstop, Montgomery Hart, the next hitter. And that is strike 1. Figueroa, the innings pitched leader on the Central Pointe team. This is his 8th start of the season. 0-1 here with 1 away. That is high and away. An ERA of 2.30 for Figueroa. 46 strikeouts going into today. 1 more will make it 50 on the season. Just 10 earned runs in 30 innings pitched. 1-1 to Gummy. And Hart takes high and away again. Kingsmen still looking for their first base runner. McNeil started this game with a drag bunt that was poked a little too close to Figueroa to have a chance to beat it out. Since then, a ball has not been put between the foul lines for the Kingsmen. Two-one. And a foul tip, strike 2. Two-two pitch, and a foul ball from Hart. Two-two pitch, foul tip, strike 3. There's another one. Figueroa has been borderline untouchable here through an inning and 2/3. Here comes Clase. That is strikeout number 50 on the season for Pablo. Here comes Clase. Hit a couple of home runs yesterday in the ABA Home Run Derby, one of the 2 participants for the Kingsmen Gold and Black. First pitch, and he swings at the outside fastball. It is 0-1. There's actually a changeup coming in at about 85. Entrican on deck if the Kingsmen get a base runner here with 2 away. 0-1. And a foul ball to make it 0-2. Meanwhile, in the third, it'll be Verdejo, Castillo, and DeJesus. 4, 5, and 6 for Central Pointe in the third, batting through the order for the second time. Oh-2 pitch. Clase hits it high in the air, foul side third base, and it is out of play. The third baseman Navarro into foul ground to try to catch it, but lands a couple feet wide of the netting. Class A, the Kingsman third baseman, has not had to do anything yet in the field, apart from catch a throw from Seminara on that pickoff play back in the first. 0-2 to Izzy, and he strikes out. Figueroa has struck out the side here in the second and has struck out 5 consecutive. We go to the third. Central Pointe remains in front. We'll be right back here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Top of the third here in Kingsman Country. It's the ABA Championships from Lake Point here in Emerson, Georgia. No Entry back on the mound for the third inning. The Kingsmen behind here against the White Tigers of Central Pointe. Verdejo takes the ball just high on the breaker. The extra hitter grounded out to Montgomery Hart back in the first. 1-0. Another curveball. This time it is in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nice change of speed from Entrican between his curveball/slider and his fastball. About a 20-mile-an-hour drop between the two pitches. If he can keep both pitches near the strike zone, he's got a pretty good chance to keep the Central Pointe hitters off their tempo. That ball's grounded to short again. Here's Hart once more, but he sails the throw, and it's the second error on Gummy in 3 innings. That puts a runner on first with nobody out. The second inning started with an error from Hart, a different error. That was a fielding error. This time the error comes on the throw. But the result of that error in the second was 3 unearned runs. Now the Kingsmen going to have to battle against themselves here again here in the third. That's a breaking ball in the dirt. 1-0 to ABL Castillo. .1-0 pitch. That ball hit high in the air. Playable right center field. Entrican and Waters coming toward it. It is Ryan Waters that makes the catch for out number 1. Kingsmen get their first out here on the flyout. And it's similar to the second once again, where they immediately followed up that error with a quick out. And you're looking at a situation where you have a runner on and 1 away, instead of bases cleared 2 out, and the inning takes a different shape. Runner on first, 1 out. That breaking ball just kept running inside on Elizer De Jesus, who struck out swinging to end the first inning. 1 of 2 strikeouts. Entrican got his first time through the order. We're in the bottom half of the order now for the White Tigers. No strikeouts this second time. 1-0. hard line drive into the netting first base side, 1-1. It'll be Entrekin, Ritzma, and Seminara. That's Hudson Entrekin leading off the bottom of the third for the Kingsmen, just trying to figure out Pablo Figueroa. 5 strikeouts and a bunt out so far for the Kingsmen through 2 innings. 1-1. That is inside, 2 balls and a strike. The Kingsmen averaging over 7 runs a game this year. But the offense has not done more than squeak a little bit here in the first 2 innings as the defense tries to hold. There's a nice pitch and a swing and a miss from DeJesus, who looked lost on the 2-1 swing. It's now 2-2. 2 strikes now for DeJesus with Navarro on deck. 1 down here in the top of the third with a runner on first base. Curveball again, got him looking. DeJesus goes down on strikes for the second consecutive time. It's Entrekin's first looking strikeout. It's actually the first looking strikeout of the game. The first 2 from Noah were swinging, and all 5 from Figueroa have been swinging. Two outs here in the third. Here comes Duen Navarro. First pitch. Navarro takes the curveball at the top of the zone, 0-1. Ground ball, fly out, and a strikeout so far from Entrekin, who has looked good here in the third inning, trying to settle down after the first 2 innings went a little longer than he would have liked. There's a curveball in there to make it 0-2. The home run, really the only blemish against his record here. There are 3 hits, and the walks have piled, but only responsible for the earned runs that came from that home run. 0-2, they've got him picked off again. In a rundown, Verdejo in between first and second. Seminara chases him down, throws to Beatrice, and the tag is applied to end the inning. That is the second time the Kingsmen have picked off a Central Pointe base runner in the ball game. So the third inning ends facing the minimum. That's a good sign for everyone involved in the left-hand side of this ballpark. We go to the bottom of the third. Kingsmen look to fight back when we come back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Bottom of the third here in Emerson, Georgia, northwest of Atlanta. It's the ABA Championships here from Lake Point. Hudson Entrekin, the younger brother of today's starting pitcher, digs in for his first at-bat against Pablo Figueroa. He takes the curveball in there for a called strike. Tough to gear up for 93 and then hit 75. But Figueroa dicing up the Kingsmen hitters through the first two and trying to keep the production rolling off of the mound. He hits the knees for a called strike 2. Entrekin didn't like it. It's Entrekin, Ritzma, Seminara, bottom of the order, then McNeil, Waters, and Beatrice. If the Kingsmen can get some hits and some base runners out of the bottom of their order. Time call just before Figueroa starts his motion. He decided to throw the pitch anyway. Entrekin digging back in for the 0-2. Figueroa shakes off twice, now 3 times. He better like what he's come up with. Here's the 0-2. And it is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dialed up the fastball. Ritzma on deck, the Kingsman catcher. If he can get on, I assume we'll have a courtesy runner. Entrekin trying to break the spell for Figueroa. 1-2. And he waves and misses at the slider away. That is 6 strikeouts in a row for Figueroa. This is a masterful performance from the Central Pointe starting pitcher. Central Pointe has 2 really, really good starting pitchers. They threw 1 against the Gators of Wellington Sports Academy before coming into this Kingsman matchup. You could argue they saved their best for second, as there is a, I think, change up just outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Mason Ritzma, the catcher. Bats left-hand side, catches right-hand side. 1-0. Figueroa behind 2 balls and no strikes. That's one thing that he has also done very well that won't get talked about much when you analyze the performance. He has done a very good job of throwing first pitch strikes and getting ahead of these hitters. The 2-strike pitches are what have stolen the show, but he's gotten there very efficiently. 2 balls and 1 strike now after Ritzma had the green light on the 2-0 pitch. Seminara's on deck, then McNeil. The Kingsmen came into this tournament with high expectations. As the 2 seed, they are being tested here in their first game at Lake Point. 2-1. Ritzma, foul ball, 2-2. The Kingsmen varsity team with a win already today. And those varsity players in attendance supporting their fellow Kingsmen, hoping that the prospect team can do the same. Two balls and 2 strikes out of the windup. Pablo Figueroa sees that one hit hard and onto the adjacent field to the third base side. It's a foul ball, but it is contact, and it was probably the hardest hit that we have seen from a Kingsman here in this ball game. They still have not put the ball in play since their very first hitter. 2-2 for Figueroa after the foul ball. And that ball hit first base side and through. The Kingsmen have a base hit. Ritzma with excellent 2-strike hitting. He sat on the breaking ball and pulled it through the first base side. Nearly an identical swing and hit as we saw from Central Pointe's first base hit of the game. Here comes Dino Catani to courtesy run for Ritzma. Runner on first, one away. The Kingsmen with a base runner here in Seminara trying to keep it going. He takes the first pitch high. Sometimes all you need is a spark. The Kingsmen got just a little bit of one from their 8-hole hitter. The embers are starting to burn, and here comes Seminara with the top of the order right behind him. 1-0. Seminara is ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Figueroa, after allowing the base runner, now behind in the count. That single breaks a strikeout streak of 6. Absolutely masterful, mesmerizing stuff from the UCF commit. 2-0. That slider catches the zone. Seminara thought he was going to be ahead 3 balls to no strikes. Instead, it's 2-1. It's 2-1 here out of the stretch. A swing and a miss at the fastball that came in at 92. Seminara comes into today on a 3-game hitting streak, including a triple. He had a hit in all 3 games of the ABA round robin. Looking to do something here with 2 strikes against Figueroa, who is trying to find his groove as quickly as he lost it. 2-2 with a runner on first. That's low and away, and the count is full. The bottom of the order giving him some trouble. McNeil is on deck, who bunted back to the pitcher his first time. You do wonder if the scope of that first inning would have been a little bit different if the ball had been bunted down the line a little bit more and McNeil had legged it out. I suppose we'll never know. See if he has an opportunity with a couple of runners on and 1 out as Seminara looks to reach with a full count. Figueroa's payoff. Slider outside. Seminara draws a walk. Second and first with 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. And the Kingsmen are threatening here against Central Pointe. The top of the 3rd was a momentum swing in that the Kingsmen, for the first time in the ball game, held Central Pointe to 0 runs offensively. They nearly did so in the second. All 3 runs were unearned. But McNeil now has a chance, the batting average leader, to bring in their first run. First pitch. And he fouls it off, trying to pull it into left field. Catani's at second. You have Speed as the lead runner, and you have Speed at the plate. The third baseman, Navarro, is in on the grass line in case McNeil squares for the second time. 0-1. Inside corner, McNeil trying to sell it, but it's in there for 0-2. Ryan Waters is on deck. Waters was the first strikeout of the game for Figueroa, who after getting through the first 2 innings on 28 pitches is nearing 20 here in the 3rd. 0-2 to McNeil, and he fights it off. The Kingsmen down 5 runs. We have seen them come back from bigger deficits this season. Plenty of time left in this ball game to do so. They would love to get it started here in the 3rd with their first base runners of the ball game. 0-2, Figueroa trying to get back on track as he throws his 20th pitch of the 3rd. McNeil takes it low and away. Dino Catani took a step toward 3rd but does not budge. And it is 1-2. Katie McNeil finished the regular season with a .410 batting average. He is on a 6-game hitting streak coming into today, including 5 in his last 2 games. 1-2. And he strikes out on the outside corner. Could not catch up to it. And there are 2 outs here in the third. That's a big strikeout for Figueroa, who's got lucky number 7. Ryan Waters up with 2 out and 2 on. Takes the first pitch fastball on the outside corner. It is 0-1. In the bottom, or rather the top half of the fourth, it'll be Duen Navarro, Alejandro Medina, and Luis Behemande. 7, 8, and 9 due up in the fourth, just as they were in the second. 0-1. Waters takes again, and he's behind 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Waters going to need to fight here with 2 on him. 0-2 pitch. And he fights one off and hits it, almost hitting the A3 third base coach on the other field, who somehow saw that coming. Catania has been on second since the walk by Seminara. Here's the 0-2. And it is a foul tip into the glove of the catcher Medina to get Waters for the second time. That is 8 strikeouts for Pablo Figueroa. The Kingsmen threaten but do not score here in the third. We'll be back for inning number 4. It's 5-0 here, the ABA Championships, right here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Top of the fourth here in Emerson. Lake Point, the home of the ABA Championships. Kingsmen 1-0 in the tournament between their 2 teams. Varsity got a win today, 7-2 over P27, to move on to play tomorrow at 12:15 against Clubhouse Commanders. Noenchkin back on the mound to start the fourth. The Kingsmen looking to shut out Central Pointe once again here. It's Duen Navarro who reached on the error to start the second inning. The Kingsmen have made 2 errors in this ball game, and that has cost them the deficit being the margin that it is right now. 5 runs today for Central Pointe. 3 of those 5 are unearned. As we near the halfway point of this ball game, plenty of time still for the Kingsmen to come back. They threatened in the bottom of the third inning, their first hit. That ball is low for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Navarro. They had a hit and then a walk to put runners on second and first with 1 down, but the runners were stranded there on back-to-back strikeouts by the top of the order. 1-2, low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alejandro Medina is on deck, the catcher. 2-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Inside corner. Navarro down looking. Strikeout number 4 for Noah Entrekin. And 1 out here in the 4th. Borderline pitch that caught the inside edge. That's a big one for Noah to get the 4th started. Here comes Alejandro Medina, the Central Pointe catcher. He swings and misses at the changeup. It's a good one from Entrekin to go ahead 0-1. Just 3 hits against Noah. Central Pointe, much like 90% of the opponents that Entrekin has faced this season, have not been able to hit him very much at all. Pitch number 75 for Entrekin misses low and away. Just 3 hits for Central Pointe, but 4 walks have given them a few extra base runners. That is a high fly ball into center, racing back Waters, and it is over his head. It 2 hops into the fence. Waters has a little trouble getting to it. Medina is going to try for 3. The throw goes into Hart, but it's off his glove, and it's a 1-out triple. 2 of the 4 hits now for Central Pointe have been extra base hits. That's a big one to put a runner on third here with 1 out. Going to see a courtesy runner here for the catcher. Four hits for Central Pointe against Entrekin. It's the second time all year that an opponent has managed 4 hits off of him. Bahamande has one of those 4, and he's at the plate now with 1 out. Infield is in for the Kingsmen, trying to keep this a 5-run game. That is high and away, ball 1. That ball gets away from Ritzma. Another wild pitch scores a run. 2 balls and no strikes here with 1 away, and the bases are now empty as the 6th run for Central Pointe comes in here in the 4th inning. That is the 2nd time a pitch has gotten away from Ritzma with the runner on third base. It'll go as a wild pitch and not a pass ball, but a breaking ball right there in front of the catcher needs to be stopped. Bases empty for Entrekin, who will be able to work back out of the windup against Bahamande. 0-1. That's on the inside corner, rather 2-0, now 2-1. So after the Kingsmen nearly scored their first runs of the game in the 3rd, Central Pointe strikes back with another in the 4th, and now a foul ball that has put Mason Ritzma on his stomach. But he pops back up and appears to be all right. Just took the brunt of the force of that foul ball, and it is 2-2. Winner of this game plays at 12:15 tomorrow. On the field to our right against DSC. 2-2. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Ritzma down to first, and it's in time. 2nd strikeout of the inning. That is now 5 for Entrekin. Bottom of the order up, Leanderson Argueta, the second baseman who had a sacrifice fly his first time and registered a run batted in as a result. Winner plays at 12:15 tomorrow against DSC. Loser plays at 9:30 against the Generals of PDG. That will be an elimination game. There's a flare shot, shallow center, but Waters is camped, and he makes the catch to end the inning. One run comes in off of the triple and the wild pitch. But the Kingsmen hold firm outside of that blemish. We'll be back for the bottom of the fourth as it's Beatrice, Curtis, and Hart. Kingsmen down a half dozen here in the bottom of the fourth. Thanks for joining us here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Delighted to bring you live coverage of the ABA Championships right here from Lake Point in Emerson, Georgia. Owen Beatrice, the leadoff man, batting for the second time against Figueroa, and he is ahead in the count as Figueroa puts that one in the dirt to Alejandro Medina, the catcher. Beatrice celebrating his birthday today. Has his parents and his grandfather in attendance and hoping to put on a bit of a show. The Kingsmen could use a good leadoff here as he takes an outside corner strike. It's 1-1. A foul tip strikeout his last time, one of 8 that Pablo Figueroa has registered through the first 3 innings. There's a swing and a miss. Every single Kingsman out has come via the strikeout except for the first one when McNeil tried to bunt himself aboard. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beatrice, then Curtis. 1-2. That is off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Defense for Central Pointe, De Jesus, Nasser, Castillo in the outfield, Navarro, Bahamonde, Argueta, and Rolón around the infield, with Medina having to do the most work out of any of them. Two. Beatrice swings and misses at the breaking ball. Looked ready to smash it. Got the bat around in time, just could not come up with the contact, and one is gone here in the bottom of the fourth. One out here, bottom 4 for Jack Curtis, making his first appearance in a Kingsman uniform since March. Figueroa misses low with the fastball. or rather with the changeup. 85 on the gun that time. Still 5-0 in the A3 TNXL contest that's going on to our left. 1-0. And that is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The only other prospect game going on right now. 1 premier game going on, Georgia Premier against PDG, and then 2 varsity games being played in the 3 o'clock window. 2-0 to Curtis. Jack Curtis grounds it to short, fielded cleanly by Bahamande, who goes to first and fires in time to get Curtis for out number 2. The ground out. Positive progress for the Kingsmen, but they will need some more. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Montgomery Hart up with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Kingsman looking to strike. Figueroa's first pitch. Inside, 1-0. And that is low for ball 2. The Kingsmen have had a number of 2-0 counts against Figueroa in this ball game, but they have not been able to take advantage. Pitch. And that is in there for a called strike to make it 2-1. With 2 outs, bases empty for the Kingsmen. Clase on deck. If they get a base runner, as Figueroa tries to get through 4 unscathed, just 1 hit and 1 walk for the Kingsmen hitters. 2-1 to the changeup, and he missed high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hart has the chance to get on. Kingsmen have yet to get a leadoff hitter on in this ball game. They'll take a 2-out base runner, 3-0, or 3-1 rather, and it is fouled off hard. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's what I was planning on doing when I was at the restaurant, and it popped off, and I'm like, oh, I'll just shove it in my purse, and then I left the restaurant.
Full count for Montgomery Hart. It is the top of the Central Pointe order in the 5th. Nasser, Rolón, and Lara waiting for their chance. Three and 2 to Montgomery Hart, trying to kickstart this 4th for the Kingsmen. 3-2 from Pablo. The foul ball into the mask of the catcher, Alejandro Medina. Both catchers in this ball game batting in the 8 hole. Medina catching for the White Tigers. Ritzma, the catcher for the Kingsmen. Winner faces DSC tomorrow at 12:15. Loser will see a matchup with PDG at 9:30, needing to win 2 games tomorrow to stay in the hunt. 3-2. And that is ball 4. Second walk of the game for Figueroa. Hart reaches for the first time and gives Israel Clase a chance to swing the bat here in the 4th inning. Figueroa nearing 70 pitches. I'm sure Central Pointe would love to use him again this week. The question will be, how long will the Kingsmen have to face him? The pitch count says they're going to get to see another arm at some point. And the statistics say that once the starter's out of the game, Central Pointe is a little bit more manageable. We'll see how long the Kingsmen get to face the bullpen. That is in the dirt, 1-0. Figueroa in this ball game has 9 strikeouts. He struck out 6 in a row between the 1st and the 3rd innings. then rattled off strikeouts the second time through the order to each of the first 3 hitters. Since then, a ground out and a walk. 1-0 to Izzy Classe. Classe, check swing, he went around. I think it was at the knees anyway. 1 ball and 1 strike. Talking about the bullpen, the team ERA for Central Pointe is up near 6. Despite the stellar stats of the starting pitching, as that is low and in for ball number 2. For a comparison, the Kingsmen team ERA is 3.63. Central Pointe has already exceeded that average. And they've done it against one of the Kingsmen's top arms. Two-one. There's a high fly ball into right field. It looks playable for Castillo. He stares up and makes the catch, and the side is retired. Classe hit it hard, but not far. And that concludes the bottom of the 4th. Kingsmen get another base runner, but lots of work to do as we enter the game's final 3 innings here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. We're through 4 here in Emerson, Georgia, the 2026 ABA Championships. The whole season has culminated in this week where winners will be crowned in all 3 divisions here in Emerson, Georgia. A beautiful complex here at Lake Point, PBR Capital. That is high for ball 2. Entrican back out there for the 5th. See what the leash is on Noah, though there is no bullpen action yet for the Kingsmen. We saw Nemo Barnes in the varsity game throw a complete game as Entrican hits the outside corner. Barnes in that win threw 113 pitches. Now, we don't know if they're going to expect the same out of Noah here in this ball game, but I would imagine that if he's feeling good, they're going to keep him out there. As Entrican is running after that one, it's got a chance, and that ball is gone. Ahmed Nasser leaves the yard, and it is 7-0. So a solo home run from Nasser in his third plate appearance gives Central Pointe yet another cushion. Now the first pitch to Rolon is fouled back, 0-1. First time all year that Entrican has given up 5 hits in a start. 2 of them have left the ballpark. When coming in today, he had only given up 1 home run all season. 0-1. Backdoor slider, that's a beauty, 0-2. The bullpen has finally started up. It is Tristan Harless throwing down the line. 0-2. Inside of the zone to Sebastian Rolon, Vinicio Lara, then Jean Verdejo. One-two, hit foul. One ball and 2 strikes to Rolon, who has walked twice. And this time he hits a fly ball, this one playable. Entrican charging in on it, shallow right field, and the catch is made out number 1. Couple of fly balls to right. This one stays in the ballpark after Nasser pulled it just over the fence in right field. Here comes the other home run hitter today for Central Pointe, Vinicio Lara. The lead being held firm by the visitors on the scoreboard. The Kingsmen still have 3 offensive innings left to try and pull a comeback out of their back pocket. 1 ball and no strikes here to Lara. The designated hitter is 1 for 2 with a home run and a fly out to right. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
No, you're good.
Top of the zone strike, 2 balls and a strike here with 1 out. Two-one. Ground ball, third base side, and it is under the glove of Classe and through into left for a base hit. The ball was rifled in and it gets by Beatrice. Oh, that's a mistake. Through the cutoff man straight into second base, and McNeil missed him. An error on the left fielder puts Lara on second. There was absolutely no need to rifle in the throw straight to second as they did. We have our first final score here in the 3 o'clock window here at Lake Point, the sole premier game of this window. Completed quickly. Georgia Premier, a 10-0 win over PDG Academy. 2 prospect games and 2 varsity games left to be decided here as Joe Hudak walks to the mound. The point has been made out towards center field. Ryan Waters is jogging in, and we'll see if he comes in to pitch.
Twice. The kid is over left and right.
Tristan Harless comes out of the bullpen, but he is going to head to the outfield. 95 pitches for no entry, and we're going to take a break and sort this out. We'll be back here in the top of the 5th on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Kingsmen. It is indeed Ryan Waters who throws a first pitch slider to Jean Verdejo. 0 for 2 on the game. An error and a ground ball, both hit to the shortstop. 0-1. That is away. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Kingsmen have given up a run here in the top of the 5th that has made it 7-0. Still 3 innings left if they can keep it a single-digit ball game in order to come back. But the offense has not had much of anything going for them here today. Waters finds the strike zone with the fastball there to make it 1-2. Not quite a position player, but not exactly one of the main arms coming out of the bullpen either for the Kingsmen. Perhaps not completely throwing in the towel yet here in the 5th inning, but certainly with the rest of the tournament in mind, wanting to save some of their high-leverage relievers. That ball's hit out to left. It's a base hit. It is Entrekin who fires it into the cutoff man and limits the damage there. It's back-to-back hits, though, for Central Pointe. One on Entrekin, who is done at 4 1/3 innings pitched. And now they get a hit off of Waters. Corners with 1 away for Abiel Castillo, who has walked and flown out. Left-hander in the box, Abiel Castillo. As the runner takes off for second, dives in. It's a stolen base for Verdejo. So that takes away the double play opportunity, the easy way out of the inning for the Kingsmen. 1 ball and no strikes. The right fielder at the plate, 0 for 1, a walk and a fly out. Then DeJesus on deck, who has struck out both times. 1-0. Outside corner strike, 1-1. The top of the order was up to start this inning. 3 of those 4 have notched hits. 7 hits total for Central Pointe now against the Kingsmen. 7 runs from those 7 hits. 1-1 pitch. That ball is popped. Third base side, foul ground. 1-2 as it lands out of play. Bounced once and hit off one of the light poles. That will not be used in this tournament with the games being played at the times that they are. They were used last night, and they were hit last night during the home run derby. 1-2 from Ryan Waters. Struck him out on the outside pitch. Good work from Ryan to bear down and get his first out since coming in relief, and he'll face DeJesus, who has not put the ball in play yet, with 2 on and 2 out. Central Pointe had the bullpen up and running during the last inning. It is dormant as of now. We'll see if Figueroa comes back out for the 5th. He's pitched 4 innings of shutout ball. There's a swing and a miss, 0-1. In the first game of the day for Central Pointe, remember this is their second of the day, Sebastian Rolón pitched 4 innings before being pulled when they had the lead. That nearly came back to bite them as Central Pointe immediately gave up a 5 spot to Wellington. 1 ball and 1 strike now. The Kingsmen would certainly love an opportunity to go up and put a 5 spot of their own against the bullpen this next half inning. We'll see if Figueroa is back out there or not. It'll be 7-8-9 for the Kingsmen against whoever stands on the hill. 1-1. Slider away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Central Pointe outscoring the Kingsmen 7-0, out hitting the Kingsmen 7-1. The lone hit being a single for Mason Ritzema. Figueroa has walked 2 batters. There have been 2 groundouts and 9 strikeouts. 2-1. That's outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. If the inning continues, it'll be Duen Navarro, the third baseman. DeJesus has struck out swinging and struck out looking. You got to think Waters can feel confident putting it over the plate. He'll have to now. 3-1. And it is in there to bring the count to full as DeJesus stares up into the heavens. 1 run in the inning for Central Pointe. Kingsmen trying to keep it at just the singular addition to the scoreboard. No head start for the runners with first base unoccupied. And Waters steps off. They were warming up Tristan Harless in the bullpen, but he is now in the outfield. He's in right, McNeil's in center, and Entrican is in left. 3-2. Outside corner, and that ends the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts from Ryan Waters out of the bullpen. The Kingsmen hold strong in relief of Entrican, who does not end up getting tagged with any further damage. The Kingsmen will try to get the offense going. When we come back, I do believe that's a new pitcher on the mound for Central Pointe. We'll be right back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. New pitcher on the mound for Central Pointe here in the bottom of the 5th to face Hudson Entrican, Mason Ritzma, and Anthony Seminara. Jeremy Mitchell on to pitch for the visitors, who are nursing a 7-0 lead. That's a ball high and away. Mitchell has not pitched much at all for Central Pointe. 6 2/3. This is just his 4th appearance of the season. The Kingsmen want to get back into this game. They'll probably need to find something against the Central Pointe reliever. There's a strike to make it 1-1. Entrican struck out his first time, and now he's ahead 2 balls and 1 strike. The fastball down considerably from Figueroa, who's done after 4 really good innings of shutout ball. Mid-8s for Jeremy Mitchell out of the pen. 2-1. Entrican swings through the fastball. That makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls and 2 strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. Mitchell's pitch is on the outside corner, swung on and missed. And Central Pointe picks up right back where they left off. Still some pretty good velo on it from Mitchell. He got that one up into the 89s. They'll face Ritzma here with one out. Strikeout number 10 overall for the Central Pointe pitchers. Ball one to Ritzma, who has the lone hit for the Kingsmen here today. It was a single punch through the right side on a line. Did it on a 3-2 count. Mitchell lifts the leg, comes home, and the ball is popped foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Seminara on deck, then the top of the order. As long as the Kingsmen can keep Central Pointe away from a double-digit lead, they'll have 3 more innings, including this one, to try and make the comeback. They're going to need the offense to start free-flowing. That is just low on the outside corner, 2-1. Seminara on deck. He walked and was stranded at first. Ritzma, after his single, had a courtesy runner and was stranded on second. That's ball 3. So the early strikeout from Mitchell, but he's in danger of walking aboard a base runner here in the 5th inning. Kingsman would be more than happy to take it if this misses the zone. 3-1. And instead, the ball is hit high in the air to center. The center fielder looking up into the sun, Nasser, to his knees, makes a tough catch. Ritzma was swinging away on the 3-1 pitch, and he flies out for out number 2. Credit to Ahmed Nasser for making a tough catch up into the sunlight. Just missed the zone with that fastball. It is 2-0. 2 quick outs for Mitchell out of the pen. Seminara trying to get something started here. He walked his first and only time to the plate. He's got a 2-0 count here. But sees the outside corner strike from the fastball there to make it 2-1. For the 3rd inning out of 6, Dwayne Navarro will lead off the inning for the White Tigers of Central Pointe when the visitors come back to the plate. 2-1. Outside, ball 3. De Jesus has struck out 3 times. Once to end the 1st, once to end the 3rd, and now to end the 5th. Navarro has led off 2 innings and will lead off the 3rd. He's 0 for 2. Seminara trying to delay that at bat. 3-1. And he hits it hard into the Central Pointe dugout. A couple of the White Tigers jumping out of the way. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls in, 2 strikes. Full count from Mitchell to Seminara. And he strikes out at a pitch that was off the plate outside, and the inning is over with the Kingsmen down in order. The offense has just not been there so far today for the Prospect team. 2 innings left to try to turn it around. They'll head back to the defensive side of the ball when we come back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Top 6 here, Waters back on the mound to face the Central Pointe offense that has been tough to stop today. They've scored in 4 of the 5 innings so far in this ballgame. Noah Entrikin has his line officially over. That breaking ball in there, 1 ball and 1 strike. Entrikin relieved in the last inning by Waters. He threw 4 1/3 innings, 95 pitches, 7 runs on 6 hits. So that ball is hammered into right center field. McNeil looking up into the sun. He doesn't see it, but over there is Tristan Harless, who holds his center fielder up and makes the catch. McNeil, just as we saw the center fielder Nasser have some trouble in the last half inning, it is McNeil that has some trouble in the sun, but Harless recovers and helps his outfielder secure the catch. 1 down for Medina, who tripled and scored his last time. First pitch in there, strike. Finish out that Entrikin line, 6 hits, 7 runs, 4 of which were earned, 4 doubles, or rather 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. That's outside and dropped by the new catcher for the Kingsmen, Christian Burney. I do not see any other changes to the Kingsmen defensive alignment, but Ritzma done for the ball game behind the plate. We'll see if he comes up to hit if the Kingsmen get to that spot in the order again. So there's ball 2. Burney getting a chance to catch at the prospect level after he played third base in this morning's varsity contest. Two 1. Foul tip, strike 2. Varsity, the winners today against P27, the rivalry win. I know Preston Hudak was pretty happy about the way that ball game transpired over on field number 13. 2-2. There's a high fly ball. It's going to test McNeil again. Harless and McNeil over to it, and Harless with the better angle in comparison to the closest star in the solar system, makes the catch. It is 2 outs quickly here in the top of the 6th. Kingsman varsity team winning earlier today. So there's a strike to Luis Bahamande. Kingsman Academy will take on Clubhouse, the Commanders, in a highly anticipated varsity clash at 12:15 tomorrow. The question that will still need to be answered, as here comes the 0-1 and it's outside, is will the prospect team be playing at the same time? If they win this game, they will be. If they lose this game, they have to win their first one tomorrow, and then they will be. Chances are we're going to have a clash of scheduling tomorrow afternoon, provided that the Kingsmen prospect team does not go 2-out here in this tournament. With a win, the winner would take on DSC, the loser to face PDG tomorrow at 9:30. That's ball 3 to Bahamande. 2 flyouts to right field here in the top of the 6th. Ryan Waters has done well in relief, doing his job to get the Kingsmen further along in this contest. 3-1. Outside corner strike, 3-2. It's the top of the order for the Kingsmen in the 6th. If there's ever a time to start the comeback, it may have to be on the other side of this half-inning break. 3-2. And that is outside for a walk. Leanderson Argueta up at the bottom of the order for Central Pointe. We have a pinch hitter here for Central Pointe. There's a strike in there. Ryan Rodriguez pinch hitting for Argueta. 0-1. Outside corner strike to make it 0-2. So the pinch hitter in for Argueta, but behind in the count here, the top of the order, right on the other side, and Waters trying to get out of the inning. Runner on the move. It's outside. Bernie will not throw, and the runner moves to second base. One ball and two strikes. The Waxhaw native comes set and misses outside for ball number 2. I'm surprised that we did not get a time call from the umpire after a ball came in from another field and landed in between the first base foul line and that Lake Point painted chalk logo down the first base line. Neither umpire saw it, and Waters missed outside with ball 2. Now he misses outside with ball 3. Got to lock in here because Ahmed Nasser is on deck, 2 for 2 with a single, a walk, and a home run to right field. Cannot risk having him come to the plate with multiple runners on base. 3-2. And Waters loses him. It's under the glove of Bernie, and the runner moves to third base as a result of the passed ball. Waters was well ahead of Rodriguez. He had him 0-2 and missed on 4 consecutive pitches. Final action today from Lake Point. 3 o'clock, the latest window for games to begin, as we're just about to hit 5 o'clock local here close to the East Coast, Emerson, Georgia. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be. Thanks for spending your time with us here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. I'm Griffin Leonard. Pleasure to be here with you as always. And so much fun covering these two teams all year long. And in the, I guess, the end of the tunnel has always been this tournament here at Lake Point. The Kingsman prospect team not having the start to the final week that they are hoping, but still time to turn it around. Runner on the move. Bernie will throw down to second. No tag, and then they go over to third base, but everybody's safe. Stolen base. Rodriguez first to second. And now it's second and third with a 1-0 count. One-0 count to Nasser. That's up the middle, a base hit. McNeil fields in center. 1 run scores. Here comes the second. The throw goes into second base, and it's over the head of Montgomery Hart. This does not look like the Kingsman team that we have seen all year. Uncharacteristic mistakes. And it is now 9-0. Nasser slashes his third hit of the ball game. Rolone now the hitter. And that 10th run now in scoring position with 2 outs in the 6th. First pitch from Ryan. High for a ball, 1-0. One ball and 1 strike. Ground ball to Montgomery Hart. He'll go to first, and the inning is over. 2 more on the 2-out single by Nasser. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th, top of the order. Coming up for the Kingsmen on the other side of the break here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here, bottom six. It's the top of the order for the Kingsmen, looking to kickstart their offense for the first time. McNeil is 0 for 2 with a bunt out and a strikeout. Mitchell, in his second inning of relief, starts it out with a foul tip, strike one on the fastball. Kingsmen going to need a lot of offense here in the game's final 2 innings to have a chance at a comeback. We will play the full 7, as that is on the outside corner to make it 0-2. Because Central Pointe only scored the 2 runs there, the 9-0 scoreline means that we will be guaranteed 7 innings. So the Kingsmen 6 outs to work with to score at least 9. McNeil will run down to first as it's a drop third strike. The throw is high, but the first baseman keeps his foot on the bag, and McNeil is out with a strikeout for the second time. The speed running down to first made the catcher Medina have to rush the throw a little bit because it got away, but he was able to keep the throw accurate enough to allow his first baseman Sebastian Rolone to make the athletic stop and keep his foot on the bag. Ryan Waters, the hitter, with 1 out. High for ball 1. Once again, the stakes here for this ball game. Winner has a 12-15 game against DSC in the winners bracket quarterfinals. Here's the 1-0. Meanwhile, the loser drops back into losers bracket round number 1, not round number 2. They'll play PDG and need to win 7 consecutive games in order to win the title. That's ball number 3. That's a 4-pitch walk. The Kingsmen have a base runner here with 1 away. And Owen Beatrice will come to the plate now with a man on. The birthday boy looking to get something done offensively, takes a big cut and comes up empty. It is 0-1. I'd like to thank those of you joining us here today on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. We hope to see you again tomorrow, whether it's at 9:30 or 12:15. Figure out the broadcast schedule. It'll be posted on the website before tomorrow's action begins, so you know what to expect from a coverage standpoint if you're unable to be here in Emerson in person. 1 ball and 1 strike. Beatrice with a man on first, 1 out. OB takes up and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Jack Curtis on deck, Montgomery Hart, and then Israel Classe. If the bats can wake up now, could very quickly once again become a ball game. Long ways to go, but bats from top to bottom of the lineup capable of big things. We have seen it across the season. As the 2-1 pitch from Mitchell out of the stretch is thrown home, and it is on the inside corner, 2-2. During the season, the Kingsmen have put up 9 spots. They've put up 10 spots. Most vividly, the 18 spot against the ECA Premier team comes to mind. It won't necessarily need to be all at once, but it does need to happen soon. 2-2. And Beatrice strikes out. 3rd swinging strikeout for the St. John's commit today. And that brings Curtis to the plate with 2 away. Central Pointe's bullpen active once more. We'll see if Waters comes back out for the 7th. Jack Curtis watches the first pitch breaking ball dip into the bottom half of the zone. It is 0-1. Swing and a miss. It was on the outside corner. Curtis looking for his first hit in his return to Kingsmen baseball action. As a strikeout and a ground out. He hit it hard, but he hit it right at the shortstop. Waters is on first after the 1-out walk. Here's the 0-2. Curveball just outside. It throws Curtis, but just missed the outside corner. One ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 7th will see 3, 4, and 5. As Curtis takes the inside corner curveball, and the inning is over. We get a base runner, but no opportunity from it. We go to the 7th here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Seventh and final inning of prospect ball here today in Emerson, Georgia. Lake Pointe, the site of the ABA championships, and a scorcher down the left field line and foul. The first pitch thrown by Angel Rari. It is his 5th appearance for the Kingsmen prospect team, though he has not pitched in an ABA conference game for the prospect team. Strike number 2, those 5 appearances, or rather 4 previous, mainly referring to the Dominican trip. He pitched twice in the Dominican, then he pitched 2 1/3 against Belmont Abbey's JV team back in February, and then started that game against Lander JV when the team was combined as one. There's a ground ball to Gummy, Hart to first, in time and on the money. 1 down. So Rari pitching in his first ABA conference game for the prospect team, one of the varsity starting pitchers for most of the season. The Kingsmen trying to put a lot of their eggs into the prospect basket going into this tournament, brought up a couple of pitchers that normally would be pitching for the varsity team, knowing that they might have to play a lot of games. Unless they can come up with 9 or more runs in the bottom of the 7th, they will need to play 8 total in order to win the championship. Rari nearly threw that one away, but Seminara, quick on the reflex for out number 2. I wonder if Rari's ever been taught the underhand toss. Rifled it from about 30 feet away to Seminara, who gets a high five from the base umpire on his way back to his position. Two outs for Abiel Castillo, who is hitless but has walked. First pitch from the Dominican Bullet is poked to short. Hart off of 1 foot to first, and it was sailed. It'll be a hit as Castillo was hustling. Three ground balls for Angel Rari. One ball, no strikes. First base runner that Rari has given up. It was a weak ground ball by Castillo. Now De Jesus is at the plate, 1-0. And he takes a strike. With all the success his team has had, De Jesus will be undoubtedly trying to join it here in his 4th and likely final at-bat of the ball game. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Both Entrican and Waters had success with the Central Pointe left fielder. 1-1. That is well outside on a slider from Angel, 2-1. Out of Higüey, Dominican Republic, there are a number of Dominican players on the Central Pointe team. I was talking to a couple of parents before the game. They said that there's about 7 Dominican players on this team. They have a couple of Venezuelan kids. It's a pretty good player pool down in the Caribbean. And the Orlando-based academy has taken full advantage. 2 balls and 2 strikes after the swing and a miss. Angel will be heading back down to the Dominican alongside the rest of the team here in a couple of months when we head back down for our summer mission trip with the summer collegiate team. Looking forward to that as always. There's a pop-up, shallow left. Entrican staring up, calls off Hart. And Hudson Entrican retires the side. So Rari comes in out of the pen in his ABA prospect debut and puts up a 0. The Kingsmen need 9 when we come back here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th, it's now or never for the second-seeded Kingsmen, as Montgomery Hart digs in to lead off what needs to be a big one. The 7th inning for the Kingsmen. They dig in and prepare to face Mitchell, who throws one pitch, and the coach is on his way out to talk, and he takes the baseball. He threw one pitch, folks. That's an interesting one. As we'll see a new pitcher, we'll step right back aside and be back here in a few on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Welcome back here to Kingsmen Baseball. Montgomery Hart has a 1-0 count and has a new pitcher to deal with. It's Caleth Fredera. He throws ball 2. Looked it up during the last time out. This season, the Kingsmen have scored 9 runs in an inning 4 times. They'll need to do it a 5th time right now if they are to come back and keep themselves in the winner's bracket. 2-0 pitch. That ball hit into right center. That'll help. It's into the gap. The center fielder cuts it off. It will be a very long single for Montgomery Hart. 98 off the bat. Some decent pop from the 2027 shortstop out of Warren, Ohio. It's just the second hit for the Kingsmen. But the leadoff man on for the first time in this ball game for the KBA. Here is Israel Clase, who flew out to deep right his last time. And he swings and drives one. Left center field, hooking toward the wall, and it's off of the wall. Hart's going to roll around to third. He will get the wave. The throw comes to the plate, and there's one, folks. A long way to go, but that's an RBI double from Israel Clase, and the Kingsmen are on the board. Pinch hitter for the Kingsmen in place of Entrican. It's going to be Ashton Bowes. Bowes, a lot of times this season, has been the extra hitter. If the Kingsmen have batted 10, he has had quite the year for the prospect team. First pitch, and he hits it to center field. That's into right center. Here comes Clase around. Bowes will stop at first as the throw goes into second. 3 hits in a row as the Kingsmen slowly but surely starting to get their way back into this ball game. You wonder how long Central Pointe's going to go before ramping the bullpen right back up. They have a long ways still to go. Down 7 runs as Christian Burney will hit. He came in to catch a couple innings ago in place of Mason Ritzema. And there's another bat that's capable of big things for the Kingsmen. He had no hits in the varsity game, but he did reach twice. The last 3 pitches have been hit. That one will not be. Burney was nearly hit. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and no strikes. Runner on first base and nobody out. Here it is. And that is in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Anthony Seminara is supposed to hit next. We will see if he hits in the 9 spot or if it is a pinch hitter. The Kingsmen have brought in 2 consecutive now off the bench. A little bit of juice here in the bottom of the 7th. And Burney is now ahead 2-1. A generous call on the inside half of the zone to make it 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 is the count. Runner on first, nobody out. Burney rips it hard, but foul. Seminara is on deck, and he will hit. One of 2 games still going on here. A3 defeated TNXL in the game to our left. 2-2. Burney takes ball 3. The top of the order has not done much at all in this ball game, but you get the feeling that if you can get them back around with it being a 4-run, 5-run ball game, there's always a chance. 3-2 for the reliever, and he misses high and walks Burney. Here comes a little bit of noise from the third base dugout. And here comes the Central Pointe coach. We'll see if another move is made. Remember, they made that pitching change to put in Fredera 1 pitch into the 7th. It was quite odd to see the reliever that had pitched the 5th and the 6th, Jeremy Mitchell, throw 1 pitch in the 7th and then immediately was pulled. He didn't appear to have injured himself. But the move was made, and now Central Pointe having to deal with what is a very late awakening of the Kingsmen bats. They had 1 hit in the entire ball game about 7 minutes ago. They now have 4 and have 2 runs. Bullpen has restarted for the White Tigers in case they need another arm to get them over the finish line. The Kingsmen trying to hang around as Seminara wears the first pitch fastball, and the bases are loaded for the top of the order with nobody out. Kaden McNeil, 0 for 3 in this ball game, pointed out by Tate Johnston, who's sitting next to me to my right, keeping the official score. McNeil with a lumber change, swinging a new bat here in the 7th, and he nearly wore the first pitch fastball. If I'm Coach Hudak, I'm telling him stay in there. McNeil has struck out twice and has bunted out. Bases loaded and no one gone. There's ball 2. The Kingsmen down 7 came into this inning with a 9-run deficit. Waters, Beatrice, Curtis, Hart, the next few hitters. As Kaden McNeil taking all the way takes ball 3. See if the bat remains on the shoulder here, 3-0. And it runs inside and hits McNeil. Back-to-back hit by pitches. This is turning into an absolute disaster for Calais Fridera. And here comes the coach. He's seen enough. Still a ways to go. But the comeback now feels at least possible. It is 9-3. And the Kingsmen have the bases loaded with nobody out as Central Pointe turns to their third pitcher of the inning. Stay with us as the Kingsmen try to mount an improbable rally here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Welcome back here to the Kingsmen Baseball Network. It is Tristan Harless that is out in the left-handed batter's box. So the bases loaded, nobody out. New pitcher on the mound for Central Pointe who delivers a first pitch, calm things down strike. Right-handed pitcher for Central Pointe throws the 0-1 and hits Harless. Oh boy. That is the third in a row. Here comes Owen Beatrice with a tying run now on deck. Small raindrops of hope starting to fall here in the bottom of the seventh, and it's 1-0 to OB. The birthday boy has had a tough go at it at the plate today. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. One-0. That is on the outside corner. One-one, and that gets the call. The catcher lunged to make that stop, and it was called a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-2 to Owen Beatrice. The Kingsmen have been hit by 3 pitches. They will need to put it in play a few more times. 1-2. Fought off by Owen Beatrice. Miguel Colmenares, the pitcher for the visitors, who are trying to hold off the late rally from the Kingsmen here on day 1. 1-2. Struck him out. Huge out for Central Pointe, and Beatrice down for the 4th time. The prospect hitter of the year has not had it at the plate this afternoon. Here's Jack Curtis, looking to put a statement on his return to this team, with Hart on deck, who led off the inning. That misses. One 0 pitch. That is away. 2 balls and no strikes. Curtis, Hart, Classe. Hart got it started with a single, Classe with the double that brought home the first run of 4 so far. 2 balls and no strikes. And that is on the inside corner. It must be said one more time, those 3 unearned runs in the second inning off of the early inning error, as we're going to see a defensive change in center field. Or no, we're going to have a new pair of sunglasses. Correction. Ahmed Nasser ran all the way in from the dugout, but he is not coming out of the game. He is instead getting some new shades. But those 3 runs in the second inning, all unearned, are the difference between a 5-run game and the tying run being on second, as Curtis swings through the 2-1 fastball. He got a piece into the glove. It's 2-2 on the foul tip. Still time for the Kingsmen to find a way. Though Cole Mandis tries to stop the bleeding. 2 strikes. Well, that's Curtis into shallow center. It hangs up and is caught. They will tag the runner from third and score yet another run. But now the Kingsmen down to their final out here in the bottom of the 7th. You could hear it based on the sound of the bat there. Curtis had that off the end of the bat. And unfortunately, with the power that he possesses, a liner off the end of the bat like that ends up in the glove of the center fielder and not down in shallow center for a base hit. 2 outs for Gummy, and Hart hits a foul ball to make it 0-1. He started this inning with the single. This is the 10th hitter here in the bottom of the 7th. The Kingsmen down 4 runs. They have the tying run on deck with 2 outs. In there for strike number 2. 94.7 on the gun. Central Pointe, after 2 innings ago, thinking they likely had this game wrapped up, now having to dive back in to the bullpen to try and find their way out of this one. 0-2. Hart takes ball 1 high. If he reaches, Israel Classe will come to the plate as the tying run. Then it would be Bose, then Bernie. Still a ways left to go, and the Kingsmen are down to their final strike. 1-2. That's low and away. Coleman Harris, the 3rd pitcher of the inning. It was Mitchell. And the 2nd pitcher, who did not record an out. 2-2. That is to the backstop, and the count is full. Both runners move 90 feet, though Central Pointe are not concerned about the runners currently on base. They will not be moving on this pitch now, and they cannot be put out via the force. Runners on second and third, 3-2. Hart trying to bring the tying run to the plate. Colmenares kicks and deals. And that is just fought off by Hart. He didn't get much of it at all. A game that has lasted now over 2.5 hours. And a game that seemed over 20 minutes ago. The Kingsmen still fighting down to their final strike. 3-2 to Montgomery Hart. And that is low and away. Low and away walks aboard Hart. And now Israel Classe, who hit 2 home runs last night as part of the ABA Home Run Derby, comes to the plate as the game's tying run. It is the first time all game that the Kingsmen have had the tying run at the plate. First pitch, a big swing and a miss. He doubled earlier in this inning off of the left center field fence. He is behind 0-1 here to Miguel Colmenares. The right-handed pitch. Classe taps it to first. Central Pointe will take it to the bag, and it is in time. Classe could not win the race, and Central Pointe survives. Miscommunication nearly gave the Kingsmen one last lifeline. Classe was nearly there with the foot race to beat out the first baseman who thought he was going to flip it to Colmenares. But in the end, Sebastian Rolone, who pitched in the Game 1 win for Central Pointe, makes the final out to put the 7-seeded White Tigers into round 3 of the winner's bracket. The 2nd-seeded Kingsmen drop into the loser's bracket, where they will play at 9:30 tomorrow against PDG, the first of what will need to be 7 consecutive wins if the Kingsmen are to take home the prospect level crown. We'd like to thank you for joining us today across both games. The varsity team winning their game this morning. They'll be in action tomorrow at 12:15 against Clubhouse Commanders. The Kingsmen will need to play and win too if they are to keep their season alive tomorrow here at Lake Point. I'm Griffin Leonard saying so long from Emerson, Georgia, Lake Point Sports. We will see you tomorrow for more from the 2026 ABA Championships right here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network.